Alright, what's up guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. As always, we got Jake over here again. He brought his Jeep over as well, and he's got his air system all done. We did not get to film it because he's trying to get it all done so it's ready to go wheeling. We got some upcoming things, so he went ahead and got that knocked out, but we got it over here so we can show you guys what he has going on, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and show you what we got going on.
So he doesn't have much underneath the hood other than the power cables ran up there, and then up front here in the center, he has his switches for the compressors, correct?
Yep. So I made this aluminum switch panel here, and it retains the two factory rear wiper and defroster, and then I've got rear, front locker, and then my ARB compressor on because I'm running 3 compressors, and then the 2 big twin Viers are ran off of that switch there, and then there's this little USB plug and multimeter.
That works good, so you can charge your phone or cameras, whatever you got going on.
Yep, when you're out on the trail, you can keep
it's a clean little panel. Looks nice in here. Clean, subtle.
Yep.
You gonna leave this just raw aluminum or paint it black to maybe match this?
I was thinking about leaving it raw aluminum for now. I might paint it later. I actually want to get it powder coated so it's really durable, but
looks good.
That's expensive, so I'll do it when I have the money.
Heck yeah. Then these are the switches that we installed in the last video that run all your lights and stuff like that.
Yep, I still got a few of them to wire up, but for the most part they all are hooked up and they work really great. I'm actually really impressed with this system. It's really clean. It flows nicely with the dash. It's not gaudy. Definitely
simple and subtle, works good. So, well, that's all we got for the switches. Those run the compressors back here. So, I guess we'll move on here to the back and show you this. All right, so these are the compressors you got back here. These are the twin via air compressors that we showed in the last video, and your air tank and your locker compressors. So what do you got going on here?
So I have these 2 big compressors directly flowing right into the tank, and this little compressor is ran off the tank as well. There's a little manifold inside here that feeds off of the big tank, so this compressor should never need to kick on unless these 2 fail or I run out of air. And then that'll specifically run just the air lockers to keep me going on the trail if in case something happened, an electrical issue with these or a fuse burns out on the trail. You don't have another one. You always got a backup. I think.
Yeah. Well, now you have 3 compressors, so you got a backup for your backup. How's that feel?
Have it all backed up, man.
Yeah, you should probably add a 4th one in there.
I thought about it. Really, I did.
Maybe later. So you ended up making this bracket?
Yeah, so I fabbed this up out of some just square tubing. It's lightweight. It's just bolted directly to the floor here and then bolted into the sub panel back here underneath the steel. And it's pretty sturdy. I'm impressed with it. It doesn't go anywhere. It works really good. It doesn't vibrate or anything with the compressors. These rubber isolators work really well too. I'm pretty impressed with it. I was thinking it was going to vibrate a lot more than it did, but it's really quiet. It doesn't vibrate too bad, and it's sustainable. You can sit in the cab with these things running and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, they are definitely quiet. And then with this air tank, didn't you drill holes into the bottom and then riv nut those in?
Yeah, so I had to pull all the carpet out, and I was afraid to drill down because the gas tank's down there, but we used the stepper bit so it wouldn't just pop through the bottom.
Those work really well for not egging out the sheet metal too.
Yep, and then once I got the holes drilled, there's actually quite a bit of room underneath there between the tank, so I went ahead and riv nutted it anyway because that was my plan, and I riv nutted it and bolted it down, and then I had enough spare room underneath there with between the gas tank and the floor pan that I was able to put some tappers down on these posts.
Those riv nuts work really good. I like using those for sheet metal. So if you drop a comment down below if you'd like to see me give one of those tools away in the future, that'd be a good tool to have for someone that's getting into fabrication.
Yeah, riv nuts are awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome for sure. They definitely do very well as long as you don't over tighten the bolt or Loctite them and spin them, but I think they work really good.
I actually have a bunch of riv nuts holding on my my fender flares because originally they just say to use like self tappers, but I don't really like doing that because after time they come loose, and so I put in some riv nuts in there and it holds on really well.
It's probably because of the harsh environment that we put them through.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't rub tires ever.
Well, I mean, our curbs at our mall are pretty hardcore compared to others.
I like the parking barriers in between, you know.
Yeah, they're definitely a handful. So that seems pretty simple. And then you got your separator up top here.
So that's actually a regulator.
Regulator.
So the air lockers don't like to run at a certain, like over, I can't remember what it is. I think it's like 50 to 75 PSI. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But this is running at 200 PSI in the tank. And so I'm regulating it down to, I think, 75 PSI or to go into this manifold. So that way it's always got the air for the lockers and it won't overpower it. It won't blow out a seal in the lockers.
Should probably bump those numbers up. ARB actually says for higher numbers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. That way it engages and it doesn't slip the collar or the teeth and ruin them.
I just, when I
kind of like Nick had.
When I set it up, I just read the pamphlet that they said, and they said it ran from X pressure to X pressure, so that's what I said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. No, it looks good. That's pretty sweet. You ready to test it and show how it works?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, sweet. So we're going to go ahead and drop the air pressure down in his tire. We're going to take this down to 2 PSI, just like I did, and then air it up to 25 PSI so we can kind of get a good feel for how long it takes and compare it to the other ones. So
yeah,
let's go ahead and start dropping the air down in this thing. Also, he's using the same air down valves that I'm using. So we got his tire all aired down to 2 PSI. That is ready to go. So for the back here, setting up for getting your tires all aired up, all you got is this hose that just goes to all 4. You'll use that for all 4 tires?
Yeah, I have another one of these too that I'll link them together with to run the other side, but for right now I'm just using the one. It's all buried in my gear.
It just plugs into there and then we can air it up.
Yep.
Good to go. All right, so we got the stopwatch out so we can time this and see how long it takes to air this up from 2 PSI to 25 PSI. So I think we're ready to go. We can also show how quiet the compressors are. I think they're pretty dang quiet.
Yeah, I think they're really quiet. You ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Mark, set, go.
There we go. We're rolling. Is it staying clicked on?
Yep.
Heck yeah. We're filling the tire. Compressors haven't kicked on yet. There they go. I think those are pretty dang quiet.
Yeah, for what they are, a lot of the competitive compressors are
quite a bit louder. Yeah, they're a lot louder.
And I mean, even this ARB compressor is louder than both of those together running.
Yeah. No, it's pretty quiet. Especially if you ever make it to where your air chuck is on the outside and you can have your hatch closed when it's running.
Yeah, so my plan is to try to find a slim mount chuck to put inside the gas cap, so that way I can keep the hose out here and I don't have to have this open to air up. Especially if somebody's in there and they're cold, snowing, keep it all sealed up, keep the heat going.
Yeah, keep the vehicle running.
Up. Yep. The vehicle probably should be running with these compressors anyway because they draw quite a bit. If you're going to be running them a lot, I mean,
we're not running it because we're in the shop and we don't want to die yet.
Yeah, carbon monoxide poisoning is real.
All right, well, we're at almost a minute and a half. So, all right, guys, we're gonna pause this and check the tire pressure. We are right at 2 minutes. Ready?
Go.
All right, what do we got so far?
21 PSI.
21 PSI, 2 minutes for 21 PSI from 2. All right, and we're going to 25, ready to go?
Mark, set,
go.
Go.
All right, time's rolling again.
I think I'm gonna get some better chucks or whatever those are called, like the ones you got on here.
Yeah, they work really good. They click on and they don't fall off.
This ones, they work well when they're on, but you got to get them on and then you got to kind of twist them just a little bit to get them to seat on all the way so they don't leak.
I'll put the link down in the description to the chucks that I have. They do work really awesome. I have a friend that got those and he told me about them, so I went and picked those up and tried those out and they work great. They do not come off, so that's definitely nice because I've had a bunch in the past that fall off. So, all right, we're getting close. We want to check this at 250.
Yeah, sure.
All right, ready? Stop. All right, what do we got?
27.5.
27.5.
We actually passed our mark in under 2 minutes, or under 3 minutes. So
Well, that's pretty good. What pressure do you normally go to?
when I'm out wheeling, I usually do 25 psi. But if I'm driving around in town a lot, then or malls, especially the malls, the tire pressure likes to be around 35 at the malls.
So you think we should just chalk that up at 2.5 minutes?
Yeah,
or 2 to 25 psi?
Yeah, I'd say 2.5 minutes to 25 psi. Plus, you got to add a little bit of time. The way I have it set up with just one hose, I can only do one tire at a time. So add on another, 3 to 5 minutes for walking around, check-in pressures, and then hooking up the chuck to each tire.
So we would redo it again and show you guys the 2 to 25 psi, but we've done this a couple times, and it is right at 2.5 minutes to 2 minutes 40 seconds. So it's not bad. We're estimating, 16 to 18 minutes to air up all four. That's what we're thinking. So that's not terrible. I think I'm at around 8. So I got
8 minutes total.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
10 minutes on me.
Yeah, 8 minutes total. That's including, pulling my lines out, hooking them up, sitting in the cab, waiting for it to air up all nice and warm, and then putting the lines back away in the box. But I think aren't you thinking about doing 4 lines in the future, maybe?
Yeah, so I'm thinking about putting a manifold in, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. Probably similar to what Justin has, but doing all 4 tires at one time is going to save that 3 to 5 minutes and shave it down a little bit. I mean, the compressors don't pump as much as his, I don't think, so it's always going to be a little slower.
I'm kind of surprised. I figured those would have done a lot better.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in it. I mean, they work really good, and they're really good pumps, and everything's really solid, but the speed of it is a little slower than I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
On my old system, I ran the sand and air conditioner pump, switched over to onboard air, and it pumped faster than these.
Yeah, engine-driven ones are always really good. They're hard to get up to those numbers with electric compressors.
And I feel like maybe that's why I have such a hard time with these, going from a belt-driven to an electric. They're just not going to be as fast, and I was used to using the belt-driven for years, and now going to this, it kind of feels a little slower. It is slower, but it just feels like a lot slower.
Isn't this about where you're thinking about putting your air manifold along there with the 4 lines coming out?
Yeah, I was going to put a manifold right here, and then have a feed, and then 4 outs, and then run 1 to each tire off of that, and hopefully that'll cut down a little bit on time.
Yeah, make it a little bit quicker. I still think it works pretty good. I am very happy with how quiet those compressors are. I'm not sure if I'd get them in the future or not, but the quietness is appealing to me.
Yeah, it's really quiet. I don't know if it shows up in the video. The video might amplify the sound of it, but in real person, it's not bad at all. It's tolerable. I've had some of like the Bully Dog and the Schmitty-built ones, and they're quite a bit louder. And that's why I was really afraid to run one of those, because this is in my cab, and I'm going to have people in here, especially if there's somebody sitting in the back seat. It's going to be right behind their head, just wah.
Yeah.
And these are really quiet. You can have a conversation over the top of them and not be yelling, and it doesn't hurt your ears.
No, it's really nice. I think the system works really good. Should be good for this winter when we're airing back up. So all in all, are you happy with the 2 Viairs?
Yeah, I'm really happy with them. I think they were a little bit on the spendy side, but they have the motor to back them. They last forever, so
they do. They have a good reputation for lasting a long time and being pretty durable.
Yep.
So,
and I think they're a magnetic driven, so there's no real moving parts in them. That helps for longevity.
No, it turned out awesome. That's probably going to be it for this video. We just a good little walk around showing your air system. We didn't really have time to film it because you were wanting to get it done, but at least we're able to film showing it working, so that's kind of neat. But that'll be it for this one. Stay tuned for some others. I think we're going to do a walk around video of his Jeep here soon, maybe possibly today if we get some time, but we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later.